Okay, so we're going to give this a shot. See, I think that I spend an inordinate amount of time thinking about brands and what they would be like if they were like alive and walking around. So let's talk about McDonald's. This is like the first one I'm doing in kind of a series of things that I speculate on. And yeah, I draw in Photoshop. That's why you don't see my hand kind of zipping around. So I took like I don't think an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of drawing and painting and just kind of making it into, you know, what is this, 10 minutes to try and keep it so it's enjoyable for you guys to watch. And yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and draw out this guy. I'm thinking to myself, what would McDonald's be like if I knew this guy? First of all, I think it'd be a dude. I don't know why. It just seems like something. And I think maybe he's just the life of the party. He's super obnoxious. I mean, let's face it. Nobody really wants to admit they like McDonald's, but they do secretly. So this is the guy we're embarrassed of. If like he ever came around while we were hanging out with our like super intelligent friends, we'd be like, dang it, here comes McDonald's. And he's just, woo! So I gave him like this kicked back kind of, party animal pose with the intoxicating shake, or maybe that's a soda. I think it's a shake over there. And yeah, I think like frat party obnoxious. He's got, a pot belly, because let's face it, I'm not going to make him like super fat. I'm not that disparaging of the brand. But he's kind of like, I don't know, fat like me. Just a bit of, I ate too much. Okay, so he has more of a chin than I do. But yeah, you get the idea. Not super corpulent, but I think you get the idea. Feet, by the way, they're the worst thing to draw. Those of you who are artists and watch this channel, I've been drawing for I don't know how many years, and I seem to just always struggle with feet. I always struggle with hands. But in the world of illustration, if you want to get jobs, focus on hands and feet. Faces, everybody can do. Eyes, everybody can do. Hands and feet, that's where we separate out the real talent. And I've heard that from agents and actual, illustrators in the field. Oh yeah, and here we are. Now we got life of the party. You can't have life of the party without like a toga, right? So, McDonald's, he comes around wearing a toga. And I've got like those little bubbles coming up from his face, kind of like an old school Disney. That's how you knew that characters were drunk or intoxicated back in the old Disney days, because they had bubbles coming out. I don't know why. It's like a thing. So he's intoxicated with his shake, and he's gonna throw a wild party. Yeah, woohoo! Leaning back. I flipped the canvas, and some of you who are not artists, may seem a little strange, but you get used to seeing a piece of art that you're working on from the same vantage point, especially if you work on it for hours. And you kind of don't give your brain a chance to interpret what's going on from a different vantage point. So Photoshop, this is the program I'm working in, allows me to invert that super quick. But back before, I'm old enough to remember art before digital anything, we would just flip our canvas upside down. If we were doing a painting, literally turn it upside down on the easel, and it just allowed our brain to see it from a different viewpoint. Like, I can look at, I've done this for years, I look at somebody's art, and I can tell whether or not they're right or left-handed, which hand they prefer based on like the arcs and whatnot, because our bodies want to describe things in arcs and lines that are comfortable. We're not going to do something that's like not comfortable to our bodies. So I can look and see, and I can tell, and there's a predictability to that, and I don't like it. So, Photoshop lets me kind of defy that. And if I flip it back and forth, the arcs are inverted. Oh, it's wonderful. We used to have to try and do stuff like this with tracing paper and light boxes, and gosh, sitting over a light box, you would basically put like paper over this incandescent bulb box and just cook yourself while you did art. And this is considerably more, enjoyable for those of us who do the art. Yeah, this here is, I'm doing the inking. That's what this is called, inking. And it's basically just like, you're making the lines darker now. Yeah, and like varying widths. So it's kind of interesting to look at. It doesn't look just like a coloring book, because that's like what a coloring book looks like, right? All the same width of lines, kind of yawny and boring. Unless you have a really great one. Nowadays they have great books that you can color in for adults. although adult coloring book does sound a little strange. Yeah, so here we go. Party animal, adding some folds, some believable folds to that fabric, which, by the way, fabric, what a zoo. All right, so now I'm going to start coloring this guy because, yeah, brands are known for their color. And McDonald's, they have like this yellow and this red, and they're supposed to, these are colors that are supposed to make us hungry, right? Well, that's what they tell us in the ad agency world. I think they're basically retconning. I don't know that I get overly hungry when I see yellow and red, but maybe I'm not that in touch with my body. But we're going to color the whole body, everything yellow, just because I like to start with a unifying color and kind of paint over it. I don't want things to stand out overly much unless I really want to push them. So yeah, I can go in and just kind of lay down colors over the top, and you can see they still have like a little bit of a yellow cast to them. Even his skin, as I'm kind of like making him, skin colored, it still has a yellow touch to it. Oh, there we go. Now, why in the world did I do this? That's purple. You're crazy. I feel like I'm going to do a video on color theory at some point, but there's basically what's called color complements or complementary colors, and the very simplest of all the color harmonies is complementary colors. If you look at a color wheel, those colors that are exactly opposite from one another tend to make each other just bounce off the page. Very psychedelic poster feeling when you look at the way that those are so vibrant. If you can hear a train right now, it's probably because my microphone is really great and my studio is not. So yeah, oh my gosh. And so you remember Ronald McDonald. Here we go. I got to give him that kind of creepy clown face, because why wouldn't he? He's like a sports fan. He's like so into his brandness that he's gonna like paint his face and woo. Yeah, that's creepier than I thought it would be. But he's got that obnoxious red hair. That's not like a normal red hair tone. That's like Ronald McDonald. Yeah, so yeah, basically I made him a white dude, but you don't just color white people white, right? Skin tones are difficult. I'm kind of maintaining a little bit of that yellow cast because I kind of want to unify the whole thing. Whoa, what did I do? You're like, okay, Bob, you said you're not going to color him white, and I'm not. This is those obnoxious, you'll see what I'm doing. Ronald McDonald had these obnoxious leggings that I kind of wanted to work on and bring into this piece a little bit. So yeah, he kind of looks like he's wearing those leggings that Ronald McDonald did, except the thing that's missing are those obnoxious boots, because dude wouldn't wear those boots to a frat party. Come on, he wouldn't embarrass himself. Now we're going in with a little bit more of that local color. We're highlighting all of those folds just to make it feel a little bit more 3D, like maybe I've seen this piece of fabric before. And you see that I actually put purple into the shadows there, once again working off of the color harmonies. Don't be afraid. The famous impressionists taught us that there's no such thing as black and there's no such thing as white, and in the shadows you're going to find all manner of color out there, and just kind of push it. And I think I was actually still pretty conservative with putting purple in my, whoa, look what I did there. Sometimes I like to make the color of the line purple, so that's what I did. If you look closely, the lines are purple now. Yeah, oh, and then I'm going to push a little bit of a background in here. This is nearing completion, and I kind of like how it's turned out. I think that I want to do another one of these. If you have any ideas about like maybe another brand that I should do, I think I'm going to do IKEA. It's going to be a little weird. Maybe Starbucks. But yeah, I mean, if I can envision what Ronald McDonald, not Ronald McDonald, what McDonald's would look like, why can't I do that with, I don't know, Ford? That actually sounds kind of boring. Do you think it would be interesting to do Ford? I don't know. Oh, here, I'm popping a little contrast behind him, kind of pull him off the background a little bit because he was getting a little lost. If you squint your eyes and look at this piece now, you can kind of see a little bit more of his silhouette against that back wall. That's a trick we do, artists. We squint our eyes so that we're looking through our eyelashes, so you don't see all the weird little fiddly details. And we really focus on the big shapes and the tones. I kind of sometimes do this white border around everything when I do this cartoony style. I like it. It's not strictly realistic, but then again, neither is, McDonald's as a frat guy. Guys, this is a lot of fun. Totally going to do this again. I think Starbucks is totally going to be next. Well, I'm certain we've arrived at that point in the video where I kind of say, hey, subscribe. If you want to see more stuff like this, subscribe. I sure would like it. And give me some feedback. Yeah, I probably wouldn't do this if I was all by myself in a room. I probably wouldn't talk to myself. I don't find myself really that interesting. But, we can have a dialogue and, tell me what you'd like me to do next. Or don't. See you next time.